What is it, Dave Fleming?
Play loose, play free, and play aggressive. And let's play pickleball.
Side out.
Service error from Vivian David to start. 26 years old for Vivian David, based out of Dripping Springs, Texas. Oh, the cagey defense of Thomas Wilson saves the day again, Dave.
Michelle, you can hit the ball around the net. You don't have to go over it, and that's usually a winner, but not today. Thomas Wilson with a great pickup.
Ben Johns cleans up with that two-hander on the left side.
Yeah, that's the no-fly zone with Ben Johns. And Thomas Wilson, one of the best athletes on tour, has got to show that aggressiveness. We saw its great defense on the last rally.
Vivian David right down the line, throttles it on the world #1, Ben Johns.
You'll see a lot of balls come off the tape, Michelle, and that's a ball that people panic on sometimes, not there and then. What a great job to find the open court from Vivian David.
Just wide, and David and Wilson crack the scoreboard to tie it early.
And it's important for them to get that first point, just to settle in here. It's national TV, center court. Don't want the nerves to be there the entire match. Oh, boy. I mentioned Cactus League Baseball earlier. Was sitting on the fastball, got the changeup, and a swing and a miss for Wilson.
What a great story Thomas Wilson is. 34 years old, also works a full-time job in between his pro pickleball career.
And a big opportunity for Wilson and Davis is for Wilson to be very aggressive on those middle balls. He's been deferring a little too much to Vivian David. We'll keep an eye on that throughout this match.
Too much Ben Johns from the kitchen, and he's all the way over on the right side of the court. That mixed double strategy is a little bit different for new pickleball fans.
Yes, he wants to set the tone for the point by coming over there. And Thomas is going to be running around. He doesn't love that backhand. He wants to let that forehand fly. So he gets out of position on purpose sometimes. So that's going to be an interesting cat and mouse between the two dudes staring each other down.
Thomas Wilson cleans up with that inside-out forehand volley.
Love that he went through the middle first. You put your opponent's paddle there and then go on the backside. Perfect placement over power.
And just back for David. Wilson and David, they're winners of bronze medals in 4 of the last 5 tournaments. Still looking for that gold, but they've achieved consistent results.
Wow, another one kisses off the tape, but if you have topspin and it hits the tape, that propels the ball farther. That one sails deep.
Second serve.
Missed reset opportunity for Ben Johns.
2-1-2.
Ben Johns was kept honest on the backhand by Vivian David.
And this is why we love mixed doubles, but because the ladies aren't scared of the dudes in front of them. Look at Viv fire away from net cam right there.
Second serve.
And for this Championship Sunday series, it's best 3 out of 5.
1-2-2.
Annalie Waters just throws in some off speed through the middle.
And that's the target. So you see the M and Humana anywhere there or a little deeper into the middle of the court, and that's going to be a problem for David and Wilson. They've got to get that figured out.
Thomas Wilson all over that Ernie, hops the kitchen.
Second serve.
Yes, and an Ernie is when you jump over that no volley zone or kitchen area, named after Ernie Perry, and beautifully played. That's one of his specialty shots. And that's never coming back right there.
No-go zone against Ben Johns. One thing we haven't even mentioned, Dave, how many triple crowns these two have.
Yes.
Annalie Waters, 22 triple crowns to her name. Could add to that total here today. Ben Johns, 20. David creating some Ernie pressure. Thomas Wilson gets away with it.
Yeah, so when you see someone go for the Ernie, their arms are only so long. There's no inspector gadget to extend that, so you got to bring the ball inside that sideline. Well done from Wilson there.
Patient point. Annalie Waters wanted that line shot on Wilson. Mixing up the pattern.
2-3-1.
Just wide for
Second
Wilson.
serve.
Yeah, I want him to be aggressive but be on balance. He's off balance. That ball jammed him up a little bit and tried to go inside out, and he said, my bad. Yeah, well, it was.
Thomas Wilson, former
2-3-2.
tennis player for Purdue and Texas. And
Side
also had a health battle and a remarkable recovery last season, Dave. We can talk about that heart condition he battled through in
3,
just
2,
a
1.
moment. Precise dinking from Annalie Waters.
Yeah, and the dinking, if you're new here, is so important to keep that low and set it up. Dink with a purpose and then look for a ball that's up. Use the kitchen as your defense because you can't step in there and volley in that green section of the court.
The kitchen often referred to as the great equalizer.
Yes.
Or the safety valve.
The forefathers said, we're not going to let the dads have the advantage over the kids.
That's a monstrous forehand and a no-go zone on Thomas Wilson every day of the week.
Yeah, his arm is so lively. If it's up, it is never coming back. I mean, watch this man swing a paddle. It's awesome.
Missed finesse touch from Annalie Waters.
And you saw Vivian David. She does not miss leg day. Gets so low to dig out of trouble and put it into the safety of the kitchen to enable Thomas to get back up to the line. Well done.
Second serve.
Second serve on the side of Wilson and David. Trying to close a 2-point gap.
2-4-2.
And an Ernie finish from Ben Johns on that backhand roll. It's legendary.
Yeah, so these challenges, though, available if you have timeouts on each side. If you're not happy with what was called on the other side, you can get that going.
couldn't defend the ATP around the post. Waters and Johns on top by 3.
So that's the danger of too much spin going to the outside of the court. The top spin propels that out there, and Ben is so patient to hit that around the post. Well done by Johns. And Annalee's like, wait a minute, I get to do that too. I get to do that too, but got the right spin on it, but just too much pace. So that's the beauty of that shot. Got to find the right spin. Wasn't able to get it in the court.
We see that side-out scoring applied here on the side of the world number 1. Ben Johns, the second server.
Point.
And just like that, Waters and Johns sneak ahead.
Yeah, and Ben is just always looking to pounce on a ball that is not hit with the right precision.
Short serve.
And he's also human and serves a ball into the net. And just to recap that, if the ball does hit the net and goes past the kitchen, it's a reserve. That one did not, so it's a fault.
Point.
And unlike tennis, you don't get to kick in a second serve here. You got one and done. And speaking of the dimensions, much smaller, 20 by 44 is what the size of the pickleball court is. So about a third of the size of tennis. Oh, boy.
Oh, almost got it back. How did Ben Johns even get this overhead defense back?
Sometimes the ball just hits your paddle, Michelle. It just pops right over.
It seems to happen a lot with Ben.
Guy seems to know where to do that.
Second serve.
Right inside the baseline, forces a second serve on the side of David and Wilson.
4-7-2.
They just both looked at each other, and the life left their beings as it hit the line.
Annalee, that backhand is wicked. Beat the forehand of Thomas Wilson.
Michelle, you're not supposed to run around your forehand on the right side of the court, but her two-handed backhand is so lethal, she is able to do it. That's well done by AL.
Second serve.
Miss Chance, she knows it.
Thomas got away with something there, but he'll take it.
7-4-2. Foot fault, left foot. Point.
The fault called on Thomas Wilson. Can't touch that kitchen line.
Jim Price all over it, and sometimes if you just shuffle your feet a little bit, your toe will slide forward even on a pretty easy dink there. That's what happened to Thomas.
Good night from Thomas Wilson.
Yeah, we have to maybe give some shields to the people in the front row. Man, is that man hit the ball.
4-8-1.
So what the ladies try to do is the guys are so aggressive moving to the middle that you try and keep them honest by going behind them, but it's got to be on the ground. That one was up in the air, and Ben Johns destroyed it.
What else can you do on the part of the females as part of the strategy here in mixed?
You want to win that cross-court dink battle, meaning you are hitting a more aggressive shot so that your dude can jump in there and fend off a ball just like that. And look at this madness.
Oh, my.
So, Ben, we call it a Burt when you do an Ernie in front of your partner, but that was on the ground, so he went for the Burt ATP. There's something special for you, Fox.
Oh, I love to see it. There's so much create. Packed house, sold-out crowd here on Humana Championship Court.
Time in. 9-4-1.
Annalee Waters looking to finish off game 2, or game 1 rather.
Point.
And game point, quick,
Game
over on the
point.
side of Waters and Johns.
Yeah, I want Thomas to be aggressive, but on the right ball. That ball was, he was well behind the kitchen line. He's going to eat
10-4-1.
that if that comes over.
Second serve.
So you got to be
Game point.
patiently aggressive, and I know that's hard balance to have, but that time in the
10-4-2.
middle, a ball up higher, very nice from Wilson.
Ben Johns
Point. Game,
polishes
11-4.
off game number 1 and takes it 11-4, the world number 1.
And we have it here with our
0-0-2.
Ernie and Bert terms. Let's see if Wilson and David can respond here in game 2.
Side
This
out.
from Ben out of the gate. They'll take the break. If you were advising them as their coach, David and Wilson, how would you strategize with them?
It looked like they were a little antsy out there. Just
0-0-1.
settle down, pick off the right balls to be aggressive with, and then Vivian David has got to win the cross-court dinks with Annalee Waters.
Oh, Thomas Wilson catches Annalee Waters, crash in the middle.
And the other thing that going for an Ernie does is usually you don't want to hit it there, but you feed a ball to the
1-0-1.
forehand of your partner. So Viv will do that, not wanting the ball, but wanting to redirect where the next one goes. Great strategy there.
Just an onslaught at the kitchen for Ben Johns.
And it's such a great attack from Ben because Vivian always cheats to her backhand. So she has the paddle
1-0-2.
on the left side of her body. Ben goes to the right.
Side out.
And can't miss your serve. It's just, I mean, you have to do the fundamentals perfectly. If you're not doing the
0-1-1.
routine routinely, you have no chance of beating this team.
Second serve.
And in the spirit of giving, they would say, oh, we'll miss a serve as well here for you
0-1-2.
guys.
Side out. 1-0-1.
Patient point between the guys that time, backhand to backhand dinking.
Yeah, and Thomas Wilson wants none of that. That's why he's been
1-0-2.
running around it. His forehand is his magic. And that's the tough part about Annalee and Ben. You think, oh, they've got all the flashy stuff. Well, guess what? They're better than you at all the simple stuff as well.
0-1-1.
That's why their record is so impressive.
Sound fundamentals on their side, that's for sure.
Point.
And the thing that the guy can do when there's an aggressive guy on the other side who is always looking middle with that forehand is just roll a ball over to the backhand. Surprise Wilson there. Nice job by Ben Johns.
Thomas Wilson creates the pop-up chance, clobbers it.
And that's a big look at the differences between pickleball and tennis. It takes 7, 8, 9 attacks to finally get a high enough one to finish it off. Well done by Wilson.
And you would never see a third shot drop in tennis.
No, certainly not.
One of the ways to utilize the kitchen to bring the point back to neutral, as Dave's been talking about.
Because a tennis player wants to close and be all the way up to the edge of the net. You cannot do that here.
Second serve.
David, the second server.
1-1-2.
The other thing you're seeing here, and you'll see it coming up from David and Wilson, is what we call stacking. Because you want the guy to be on the left side, you'll see Thomas Wilson return and then run all the way across the court to stay in his preferred position.
Thomas Wilson thought he had it. Another point surrendered to Waters and Johns.
Again, use the middle of the court to move him slightly over to the right and then fill that in, and just late with the swing.
A flying Anna Lee Waters gets the Burt backhand finish.
And to see the spin and the athleticism of these athletes, you got to see it in person.
Point.
Ben Johns can cover so much court, as can Anna Lee. That's part of the reason they're so dangerous.
Yeah, even their movement is elite. Like, you start looking for what is not elite here, and it is a very small list.
Down the line, roll from Ben Johns. Both players will be competing for gold in singles in their own right, so that explains part of the mobility.
Yeah, and there again is Ben knowing the right hip is the shot to hit on Vivian David, just perfectly executed. And there's that mess in the middle again. Thomas Wilson has got to be alpha. Go take that ball. It's your favorite shot, your forehand. Don't let that just travel to Vivian David's backhand.
Point.
And this is what can happen when I talked about the stacking. When you've got a return and then come flying across the court, you aren't set and you're off balance and moving, and you miss a volley you usually wouldn't. And there's another example of it right there, just not set.
What do you do when you're a team caught in that stack situation?
So you want to add a little loft to your return to get it deeper so you have time. And the crowd is just urging David and Wilson, come on, we want to see you play your best. And that's just filth from Anna Lee Waters there. And this is a clinic on how to absolutely abuse a team that is trying to unwind the stack by throwing the ball in the corner, making it harder to get all the way across, and then getting the ball at their feet.
Oh, great defense from Vivian David. Too much Ben Johns, though.
And it was a great return that time from Thomas that got him into the point, but man, is this an absolute onslaught.
Game point here in game two for the #1 team, and they'll take it there. A dominant performance, 11-1. They're one game away from 16 straight days.
So what do you do?
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
We were on the call and we're like, what is happening out there? They found it. It was an electrical part of his heart. They fixed it and he's back, and we're thrilled to have him back playing at a high level. Now he's got to bring his absolute best, because they got tap danced on in game number 2.
They sure did. Better start for them here in game 3. David forcing the error on Ben Johns, and how about that, 2-0? The crowd loves what they're seeing.
They know the quality of David and Wilson. They've got to be that third person on their team. It's like that 12th man for the Seahawks.
Into the net goes Waters, Vivian David, and Thomas Wilson.
And then the pickleball doctor, Noah Sarabin, sitting there too, who is a key part of Ben Johns' team. So they got a lot going on over there to help them be as great as they are.
David struck first, and Waters read it all the way through.
Yeah, just catches the tape. Thomas was just off the kitchen line for that block, and Annalise backhand just low enough, but a great start for Wilson and David here.
Left cord will catch Thomas Wilson.
Yeah, and it's interesting with the timeouts, you use those to stop momentum. Ben doesn't believe in that because he thinks he's giving the other side some confidence. Annalise, like, showed you.
Point.
So that is the perfect combo in mixed doubles. If you can pull the lady out wide to the right and she wants to bail out down the line,
2-3-1.
There's no room there because Ben is flying in with an Ernie. Perfect pattern.
That backhand is just as effective as the forehand for Ben Johns.
So it's that part of the court that is off limits, and they've put it there 2 consecutive points. You just can't do it. Ben is too good an athlete. He will eat that up every time.
It doesn't really seem like Annalise Waters is a better option there either, but a good put away for Vivian David.
But that's why you got to make the ball bounce.
Yeah.
You got to put it in the right spots. Don't make it easier on them.
Thomas Wilson all over it down the middle.
Great setup by Vivian David of finding the right hip of Ben Johns, who was sitting on the backhand. Watch the replay. A little bit surprised and late, and that's how you pass the ball to your partner through your opponent. Well done by Vivian there.
A crucial side out, but they need to gain some points here. 2 service tries to do so now on their second serve for David.
We've seen Annalise Waters with the poach of the 2-handed backhand. Viv's very good at it as well, just a little late on the swing.
Side out.
And you see so many balls go off the tape in pickleball, Michelle, because you have to keep the ball low. If it's up at all, it gets attacked.
3-3-1.
So because the precision required to play at this level is inches above that, you'll see it off the tape.
It's nice inside out Ernie from Thomas Wilson. Ben Johns looking for the reset, couldn't get it.
3-3-2.
Oh, no.
Point.
Thomas just was trying to be patient, and it was like, oh, I'm going to hit this, I'm going to hit this, and then pushes it deep.
4-3-2. Football. Right foot. Point.
To play this sport that we all love.
Yeah, at Halloween, people even go as Annalise Waters now. That's the impact she's had on the youngsters across the country. And there's the problem again, unwinding the stack, trying to get over there. You want your return to be better, now missed wide.
6-3-2.
Ooh, Vivian David.
That's
so
how
good
you
with that
lock down
backhand.
the middle, Michelle. That's what you got to do, Viv. She's lethal when she gets that right here. And look at how compact the swing is coming up. Just get out of here.
SWAT team down the middle.
Side out. I miscalled the first one. We're good.
David and Wilson on a 1. The chance to roll here. Down 3. They need it.
Second
Missed
serve.
chance there for Wilson.
Yeah, it can't happen. You see, waves the Cobra up there trying to disguise what he's going to do. But if you're going to do that,
3-6-2.
you can't disguise it and make you miss. Oh, no way. Come on, AL.
On a complete scramble, Annalise Waters hits a winner on this defensive play. Unreal.
So Thomas was like, she is in jail. I'm going to run up and get an Ernie out of this. And Annalise brings it back to the middle. That's remarkable.
Second serve. 6-3-2. Side out.
That's a great hold. So it was 3-0 David and Wilson. Annalee, not Ben, called timeout. They've won 6 in a row. This has got to be GO time for David and Wilson right now. They're just not getting anywhere near the kitchen. That drive's way too high. Again, I talked about all the balls off the net cord. Your goal on that drive is 6 inches above the net, not 2 feet.
I like the third shot drop from Wilson to the backhand corner of Ben Johns, but couldn't follow it up.
6-3-1. Second serve.
A little sloppy here, so this is when Wilson and David have got to take advantage of this opportunity, get it back here, and then get some offense of their own. Another misreturn, man. Too many visits to the freebie factory here. You can't just give it to them.
7-3-2. Side out. Three, 7-1. Point.
So same problem on the other side, and you saw Wilson angled his serve so that Ben had the farthest distance to run, tried to hit that ball up the line. That's the highest part of the net. Found the tape there.
Serve, reserve.
Thank you, Ben, for playing ball boy after that one off the tape. That's great.
Wilson on the fly, pockets it.
And now the crowd's into it. They want more pickleball. They love the mixed doubles, and that's the insane athleticism that Thomas Wilson has. Split steps, explodes to the right. Well done.
Point.
Annalee is now inquiring about a timeout. Usually she just takes it, but you only get 2 per game. So this would mean no timeouts, and you have to have a timeout to challenge. So that would take that away as well.
Tough miss for David to halt. Bit of momentum within 1, though. Still 1 more serve to go to tie it.
6-7-2.
What a return from Annalee. Or Ben, I believe.
Yes. And that hit the back edge of the edge of the line, but it did catch. Oh, Annalee had them all thinking ATP, and she got Viv to take a step to the left, but too much on that cross-court dink. Vivian David, the smiliest player in all the land. But don't let that fool you. One of the most determined players, and here's their chance.
Chance to tie it here for David and Wilson.
6-7-1.
That is a whip from the young Annalee Waters.
Yeah, just too high on the drives from Thomas Wilson. He's a guy that can hit him half an inch above the net. He'd like to find one of those here.
Just wide for Ben. Severe angle.
So that's where the athleticism of Wilson makes the shot attempts from the other side a little more difficult, because you know he'll track it down, and this crowd is into this.
They are behind the world number 3. Thomas Wilson can feel it. You see it all over his face. Now can they capitalize?
And another missed return down the line. And yes, family very engaged in pickleball.
8-7-2.
Ooh. Yep, too high on the reset. Ben Johns all over it, side out.
Yeah, and it all started again with a drive that was high, and he can be so much better than that with that forehand. The good news is they got to an even number, which means they can stay on their side to return and don't have to run across on the stack, so that will help them here.
Ben Johns wide on the counter of the forehand. Thomas Wilson, no points surrendered for David and Wilson.
And nice adjustment from Wilson, being very aggressive on that ball in the middle, not deferring, has to do it. Well done.
Threads the needle through the middle, does Ben Johns. Second serve now for David and Wilson.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to hit an angled overhead. So they both ran to the angles. Ben saw it, parted the seas. Well done.
8-7-2.
So good at reacting to what's ahead. And how about that? A 2-point lead for Wilson and David. 2 points away from forcing a fourth.
9-7-2.
This is Championship Sunday, best 3 out of 5. That ball's not coming back, and serve surrendered back on the side of Waters and Johns.
So now they are on an odd, and man, that 10th point put so much pressure on the other team, couldn't get it done there. Let's see how they deal with this.
7-9-1.
Can't give that up. Now a 1-point game. Waters and Johns a chance to tie it.
Thomas showed us all where his paddle should have been just a half second earlier, just late on that one. Wow.
Oh.
Second serve.
So what the seeing a problem with the stack will do sometime to the servers, ooh, I'm going to force an angle, get them going there, and you go for a little too much. So that's what happened there.
Second server, Annalie Waters.
8-9-2.
Thomas Wilson sped it up down the line on Waters. She got it.
Same thing happened again. He got that ball a few rallies ago on the forehand, just didn't quite punch it. His paddle was just a little low, and he's just off the kitchen. If he was right up there, he would have had it.
Annalie Waters strikes cross court, captures another point, and a championship point with it.
Yeah, tried to be crafty here, did Thomas Wilson, and Annalie was having none of it.
10-9-2. Point game.
And the world #1 prevails. They do it in 3. Annalie Waters and Ben Johns capture their 16th straight title. A bit of trouble there in game 3. How were you able to tie it and come back in this one?
Yeah, you know, I felt like we played a clean match through the first 2 games. I think we went up in that third one kind of similar to the second. I think maybe it was like 7-3 or so. I think I may have let my guard down a little bit, a couple loose free errors. But, you know, you can always depend on Annalie to make some big plays and drag you out of that when need be. So always thankful to have her by my side, and happy to get another win with her.
Well, you can depend on her to make big plays, and also Triple Crown hunting once again. This young lady on the brink of 23 Triple Crowns here in Mesa. 1 down, 2 to go, Annalie. What's so special about this win alongside Ben here to start?
I think it's really special because last year here we didn't even make it past the quarters, so definitely happy to just make it to the final. I was happy to be here with Ben, and I don't know what he's talking about me helping him at the end. He helps me all the time, so I get a chance every now and then to show him why I'm his partner, so I tried to do that today, but I just thought we had a lot of fun, and that third game, like you said, let our guard down, but just super happy to be here. I think the crowd's amazing, even though at the end they might not have been cheering for us, but it was still cool to hear all the noise, and just how many people here is amazing. So you guys were awesome. Thank you.
I think they just wanted to see more pickleball, to be honest. Ben, in closing, how electrifying was this atmosphere? What did it feel like to play in front of these great crowd?
Yeah, well, it's a packed stadium here. I think we sold out every seat for sure. And if there's anything I know about Arizona, it's that it loves its pickleball, huh?
right, let's get the trophy in their hands. Time now to welcome in our title sponsor from Carvana, Blake Williams, with a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for making it out this Sunday morning. Great matches all around, super exciting to watch. And on behalf of Carvana and the PPA Tour, I would like to present this trophy to Annalie Waters and Ben Johns. Congratulations.